Hello everyone, my name is Mrs Barling and I am the Head of Maths along with my colleague Mrs Mahoney, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about Maths GCSE, how we teach it at Uplands, the 2 tiers, the kind of equipment that students will need, how we support all of our students to get excellent outcomes, and the resources that we use and that you can use at home to support your children. The Maths GCSE specification covers the following topics. So we have number, algebra, ratio, proportion and rates of change, geometry and measures, probability and statistics. We start teaching the topics that students will be examined on in year 10, so it's year 10 and year 11. However, it's worth noting that maths is a spiral curriculum and therefore students will be have seen many of the topics before in the younger years, and they will be building each year that they revisit the topic to gain a greater understanding and depth of each of the topic areas. There are 2 tiers for the Maths GCSE. There's the foundation tier and there is the higher tier. In year 10, we teach the students the same curriculum up till around the 2nd term, and then in the summer term of year 10, following assessment and consultation, we then tier students to follow either the foundation or the higher scheme of work. You can see from the table that the weighting for each of the topic areas is sort of fairly evenly spread. Obviously there is a range there, it can change slightly from year on year. And there are lots of areas as well where you've got interleaving questions where you might have some algebra together with some geometry, for example, but it gives you a summation of the weighting for each topic area. The exam board that we use is Edexcel, and as well as sitting the higher or the foundation tier, it's worthwhile saying the grade areas that each student can go for depending on the tier that they sit. So for the higher tier, the grades will range from a grade 3 to a 9, 9 being the highest grade. A pass is considered a 4, a strong pass is considered a grade 5. And that is the same for the foundation tier. A pass is a 4, strong pass is a 5. However, on the foundation tier, the grades will range from a grade 1 to a grade 5. There are 3 exams for the Maths GCSE. There is paper 1, and that is a non-calculator paper. Paper 2 and paper 3 are both calculator papers. Now, those papers are equally weighted and there are 80 available marks per paper. The individual papers are not graded, it is the total that is graded, and the grade boundaries do tend to change slightly year on year. They're readily available online if you wanted to have a look at them. Each individual exam is 1 hour and 30 minutes long, and as I say, 3 papers, an hour and a half long. They're fairly evenly spread out. They tend to be, historically we've had one paper 1, the non-calculator, which is always the first one, is before the May half term, and then papers 2 and 3, the calculator papers, are after the May half term in the early part of June. Students are required to bring their own equipment for their maths lessons so that they become familiar, for example, with their calculator. So we would encourage students to bring their maths set, which includes their protractor, their compass, ruler, pens and pencils to each lesson, and also, as I say, their calculator. It's really important that students are very familiar with their calculator in order to be able to use it really effectively, so that they are very comfortable with it by the time it gets to the GCSE. As you saw before, 2 out of the 3 papers, students are able to use their calculator, so it's really key that they are really confident with what they're able to do with their calculator so they can use it for maximum impact during the exam. There is a very strong correlation between students who come out with fantastic grades, smashing their targets, and the amount of effort they put into learning outside the classroom and consolidating their lessons with their homework. We get our students into really good habits starting in year 7 to have maths homework. They have 1 piece of maths homework set each week. We use a platform called Sparks, and it provides students with videos in case they're not sure what to do, and gives them lots of feedback. And because of the kind of AI function of Sparks, it tracks the students' progress, giving them more challenging questions if they're doing really well on a topic, or similarly giving them some slightly easier questions if they're finding it a little bit difficult. By the time they get to year 11, we would be expecting students to spend a minimum of an hour on their homework with Sparks. If they finish early, there are a myriad of questions called XP independent work, and students can use that. Students can ask for their teacher's help. They can switch out a question if they find it tricky, and we offer a homework support lunchtime session every Friday where students can pop along and get support from the maths team if they need any help with their homework. When students are preparing for their maths GCSE, it's really important that they get a lot of practice with past papers, and therefore we subscribe to a website called Method Maths. Each student has their own individual login that's available from end of year 9, start year 10, and it has all the Edexcel past papers available for both higher and foundation tiers. It marks the questions as the students are going along. It gives them the mark that they're currently on, the grade that they're on, and shows them how they can then progress to the next grade. Each question is broken down. It has a little question mark, so if a student's not quite sure what to do, they can get hints and tips, and it structures their responses in order to gain maximum marks. So it's a really brilliant way, a really efficient way that students can build up their exam skills by practicing past paper and getting them marked as they're going along. Some students prefer to revise for their Maths GCSE with a workbook. There's plenty of those readily available. The CGP ones are very good. They have revision practice and they have mark schemes as well. And you can also get little revision cards that can be really helpful in the run up to revision. The best way to revise for maths is to actually practice the maths, is actually do the maths questions. That's the most effective way of getting ready for your Maths GCSE. There are lots and lots of websites. Most of them are free. Corbett Maths is excellent. Maths Genie is excellent. The BBC Bite Size is also brilliant. So there's lots out there that is free and readily available. Make sure that your students or children are going for Edexcel because that's the board that we use. But like I say, the key thing is to practice in order to make sure that you are ready for the GCSE exams. Studying Maths GCSE allows students to develop a whole range of different skills, which include problem solving, data analysis and statistics, attention to details, as well as communication skills. And therefore, many employers look for students who have got a strong Maths GCSE grade or a Maths A level or a Maths and Maths related degree. There are a whole range down on this image that you can see. So therefore, it's really encouraging to know that we've got so many students at Uplands who enjoy studying maths and are looking forward to continuing on and looking at possibly Maths A level. If you have any questions about anything that's been mentioned in the presentation, please don't hesitate to get in contact with us. The emails are listed below. Thank you very much.